What's up, Motorcaders? This is TJ. Welcome to another episode. I've got one real quick ask before we get into the video. So my channel is it's slowly creeping towards that YouTube milestone of 1,000 subscribers. I'm kind of at about 950, 970, 975. And so do me a favor, if you're not subscribed and you like what you see, click that subscribe button. Help me to get to that 1,000 subscriber milestone. That would be an amazing milestone, and hopefully you can help me reach that. All right, so let's jump into the video. This, as you saw in the title, is going to be another boring video. When I say boring,
bump until we get to Jim Miller.
Sarcastic in that nothing outrageous or dramatic off the wall happened. It's pretty much a classic textbook escort run down to perfection. Nothing happens that's not planned. We handle it safe. We get to the cemetery safe. Escorts are safe. Processions safe. Everything went flawless. So that's why I like to say, hey, this was a boring run. And when that happens, that's a good thing. So what I'm going to kind of do something a little different for this one. For this service, I'm going to actually kind of narrate the entire service. Usually you're just kind of watching in silence, listening to the elevator music playing in the background. But I want you to kind of see what's happening from my perspective and what I'm thinking as I'm going about this service. And that might kind of help you understand and get in the mindset of what each and every escort detail that we do. So let's kind of jump into it. We just left the church. This is a 2-bike service. Riding with me on this service is Mary. Mary's been riding a couple of years. I trained her probably back in, I'd say about 3 years ago. So she's doing great. We made a right from the church. We're going to kind of cut through a neighborhood here to kind of cut down on some of the congestion. When I'm at a light, securing the intersection. Here comes Mary about to bump me out of my position. Bumping just means that the partner is going to take your position and we're leaving, so you can go on to the next person. So she just bumped me. That's why I took off. You see when I'm in intersections, when I position myself in intersections too, there are very specific spots that we need to put our light in. There are specific spots that we actually walk to and place our bodies in physically. So these aren't just random things that we're doing in random places in the park, random things that we're doing with our hands and whistles. Everything is deliberate in order to keep ourselves safe, keep our procession safe, and also to keep the public, the civilian cars, the cars that are not in our procession. They're our responsibility too. So it's kind of a threefold. It's kind of three things that we're trying, three facets that we're trying to keep safe: escorts, procession, and civilians. So now I'm accelerating ahead of my procession to give myself plenty of time to assess this light. I see I have the red, which tells me the cross traffic has the green. And I'm going to take my time. I don't like jumping in front of cars and making them stop and slam on their brakes. So I always creep out. If there's cars coming that have momentum, I'll let them go. Not to mention, I've approached this intersection so far ahead of my procession that it's given me time to do this, right? Securing all the other sides of the traffic. And look how much time I had to get all this secure, and my procession is just now pulling to the intersection to make that turn. Here comes Mary. When she's passing me, that's what's called leaping. She just leaped past me. So there's kind of two maneuvers that we just talked about so far, bumping and leaping. Okay. So when I'm in an intersection, my eyes are always on the lights. The traffic lights, so I know who has the green, who has the red, so I know where to divert my attention. That cross traffic has the green, so I'm making sure everybody's stopping both directions, and I'm always looking out for my last car, so I know when to go back to my bike. Keep that head turning. My last two cars are coming. That white Explorer is the second to the last car, and I'm gonna always roll out. I'm gonna always roll out with that last car. Now I'm gonna shoot on ahead to relieve Mary. Not actually relieve. I'm gonna bump her. No. Take it back. I'm gonna shoot up ahead to leap Mary. She's gonna have this next intersection secured, so I'm gonna leap past her to go get the following intersection after that. As I'm progressing up, accelerating to the front, I'm checking to make sure all cars have their hazard lights on. Sometimes we might have missed some while we're in the parking lot. Here's a light coming up, so I'm going to accelerate ahead to catch that. I've got a red, so that tells me my cross traffic has the green. Now I see a flashing yellow light ahead of me, so that tells me that the oncoming traffic, they have the green. So really you're just trying to use your lights to your advantage when you can. Be able to understand and assess what lights are actively happening, anticipate what light cycles are coming, and use all of that to your advantage so that you can give your procession the right of way. So I'm in a larger intersection now, and of course I need to control the entire thing. So my bike is facing that traffic from over there. It's in their line of sight. And now I've gotten off my bike and I've walked across to get in the line of sight of that traffic to my left. And all the while I'm doing this, I'm looking for my last car so I know when to go back to my bike to go ahead and take off with the end of the procession. It must be coming because I'm getting on my bike. There's my Ford Explorer. Roll out with that last car behind him. And let's do it again. Accelerating up to the front. And that's really just all an Escort detail is secure at an intersection, hold to the last car, accelerate back to the front, wash, rinse, and repeat. Of course, there's lots of details and intricacies within that. So as I'm driving up, I'm noticing there's larger gaps in between these cars. These gaps are a lot larger now in between those cars than they were when we first started. That's telling me that our lead car is started to speed up. And if he starts going too fast, that starts to spread out your procession and it makes it longer and harder to manage. There's Mary, I'm leaping past her. Gave her a little hand securing that last lane that she might not have been able to see. But again, look at these gaps. There's a big gap right now behind that blue car. So we always want to manage the speed of the procession. So I'm going to come up to this lead car and just kind of give him a sign to slow down. That's going to help kind of accordion that back down to a more manageable speed. A good cruising speed for me is about 25 miles an hour, 25. So now I'm accelerating ahead again to catch the next light. And as I accelerate ahead again, as I said, I'm not expecting my procession to follow me. They should still be going 25. I want to give myself as much time as I can at this next light so that I can safely secure it, make sure everybody knows that there's a procession coming through, and have it as safe as possible. If you kind of looked as I glanced back, you saw how far back that procession was. That's where I want them, way back there, so that I can, it gives me time to securely shut down this intersection. So here I come up to it. It's green, so I love catching a light on green. I don't have to use any sirens. I just pull into my spot, get my bike in position. Look at how I put my bike in the line of sight of that traffic to the left. And I walk into the line of sight of the traffic coming from the right. And look at how far back my procession is. They still have plenty of time. Once it's secure, I wave them through. Here comes Mary, gonna leap past me. What's up, Mary? Always keep my head spinning, keep it on a swivel, especially when the cross traffic has the green. You don't want somebody who's not paying attention to see a green and try to roll through not knowing there's a procession. So always keep your head on a swivel and I'm continuing to direct my procession through. You don't want somebody in your procession to get confused because they have a red and stop. So now my procession just got a green light. I looked up to double check it. So now I'm relaxing a little bit. I don't have to wave. I don't have to stop anybody. I'm letting the light work for me right now. Now I'm just waiting on that last car. There's my Ford Explorer. And I'm rolling out with the last car. Matter of fact, that's two Ford Explorers. The black Ford Explorer, the gray one, and the silver one. Then I think it's a Suburban in the back. So always roll out with your last few cars. Seeing a lot of gaps here. Gaps at the very back are kind of normal. That's kind of the physics of a procession. But you definitely don't want a lot of gaps throughout the entire procession. Let's keep it moving. Sometimes there's a civilian car on that far right side traveling in that right lane. I don't have a problem with them. They're not in our way. We're going to be continuing straight, so there's nothing that they're going to be doing that's going to bother us or impede us. I'm going to go ahead and leap past Mary. This camera kind of tilted to the right. It's kind of making my neck hurt. I need to fix that angle. All right, coming up on the next intersection, checking my lights. I have the red, which means cross traffic has the green, so I'm going to be careful. Eyes to the left, pull out when it's safe. Notice I haven't even looked to the right yet. Make sure I'm safe there. Everything's secured. Now I'm clearing out the car in front of my procession. This is now my intersection. Once it becomes my intersection, I can control who has the right of way. First thing you do when I get to an intersection is you shut everything down. No matter who has the green, who has the red, make everybody stop. Well, then once you get everybody stopped, now that we're reset, now we can start giving people the right of way who we want to. Mary just.
We're not taking 1 second. I just think we're taking this all the way to Route 12. Yep.
Yep, Mary's just confirming the route. We talked about it beforehand, but sometimes if there's any doubt, go ahead and talk to your partner just to be sure. Again, if you see me in an intersection, you're always going to see my head turning. To the left, to the right, forward, backwards, looking for my last car, looking at the lights, looking at the cars. Let's do a count. 1 car, 2 cars, 3 cars, 4 cars, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 cars, 16, 17, 18 cars, 19, 20, 21 cars, 22 cars, 23 cars. Okay. All right, Mary's clearing out this first intersection. I'm gonna go across and catch the other side of the overpass. Looked like he got in that left lane. I had to direct him back to that right lane. This left lane is our travel lane. So the escorts are typically moving up and down this lane. And the procession travels in that right lane or middle lane. We only put them in the left lane if we're going to be making a left-hand turn. So here comes Mary. Going to leap past me. Now I'm going to be waiting for that last couple of cars and roll out with them. There's my Explorer. What? There must be another Explorer. I know I just saw a silver Explorer go by me. Yeah, there's 2 silver Ford Explorers. Okay, let's go. What do you think about the elevator music? I love it. I love it. Sometimes I get complaints that people hate, that you guys hate the music. Other times I get compliments that y'all love the music. Leaping past Mary. We're going to be making a left turn at the next intersection. Putting my procession in that left lane now in preparation for this left-hand turn. Hey, put in the comments what you think about the music. And if there's different styles of music you want to hear. I'm not just married to jazz and funk and hip hop. If there's other styles of music, let me know. I'll drop it in the, I'll do it. All right, so we're hitting this left-hand turn. I've got a green. I've got a fresh green. Remember, bike positioning is important because your bike is going to act as your partner on that one side of the street. Getting in their line of sight to have them to stop. Once I get everybody stopped, I walk back to my side of the street and wave my procession through. But I'm going to keep my eye across the street to make sure they come to a stop. And there goes Mary, kind of giving me a hand, giving me some reinforcement on that weak side of the intersection. And she just kind of did a drive-by just to make sure all the lanes got filled up, to make sure everybody knew there was a procession coming through. She doesn't necessarily need to stay there. I'm looking at the traffic lights, looking at the civilian cars, and I'm watching for my last car. And always continue to give direction to somebody. Somebody should always be getting direction from you. Here come my last 3 cars. There's that silver Explorer. Here we go. We got 1 mile to make a right turn on Murdoch. And then once we make that right on Murdoch, then the cemetery is going to be straight ahead 1 mile away. So we're not far now. Anytime I pass a car that's from a side street or from a turning lane that wants to turn across my intersection or turn through it, I always give them a command just to let them know, hey, you'll see my hand kind of go out to give them the stop sign. Hey, there's a procession coming through. Do not cut through. Here's that right turn onto Murdoch. I bumped Mary from this one. Got off my bike, and of course my head is on a swivel. Keep traffic flowing. If it's not impeding you, sure, let them go. We don't need to shut everything down for no reason. So as long as they have a green and they're not bothering you, you can go ahead and let them go. Make sure nobody's trying to turn left onto me, so always keep that head turning. I see the last few cars coming. Always roll out with the last car. You never want to be the last vehicle in an intersection. And this is the last stretch to the cemetery. We're about a half mile from it. And of course, once we get to it, we will be doing our salute, our final salute and honors to the family.
DFW, man. Please, man.
Thanks for watching, everybody. See you in the next video. Hope you enjoyed it.